Pavel Semyonov cursed himself for entering this hut. The old photo album trembled in his hands. On the last page, written in a child's handwriting, was, "Dad said not to show this to anyone, but if you are reading this, it means we are already far away." October 2017 was unusually warm. Pavel had been picking mushrooms in the forest near Tver for 3 days. He noticed the abandoned hut by chance. The roof had collapsed and the windows were broken, a typical sight for these parts. Inside, it smelled of damp and rot. Scraps of newspapers from the 1990s lay on the floor. Pravda from August 14, 1993. Pavel crouched down. The headline read, "The government promises stabilization by autumn." Before we begin the story, please write which city you are from. We are very interested in where you are watching our video from. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your rating. The album was lying in an old suitcase under a pile of rags. The red cover was faded, but the photos inside were surprisingly well preserved. A family of 5, father, mother, 3 children, ordinary people, happy faces. Pavel leafed through the pages. A dacha, a vegetable garden, a river. Typical photos of that time. But something was wrong. Each photo had a date on it. The last one was August 15, 1993. He took out his phone. There was no signal. It was a 40-minute walk through the forest to his car. Pavel photographed several pages and put the album in his backpack. Journalist Anna Krylova received a message from Pavel that evening. They knew each other from working at a local newspaper. Pavel had gone into business while Anna had remained in journalism. "I found something interesting. Maybe it's material for your column?" Anna wrote a column about mysteries of the past, lost expeditions, unsolved crimes, urban legends. Readers loved that kind of thing. They met at a cafe on the Volga embankment. Pavel laid the album on the table. "Look closely," he said. "The last photo." The photo shows the whole family at a table on the veranda. The table is set for dinner, but the plates are empty. And the faces. Anna looked closely. The smiles were forced, as if they had been made to smile. "Turn it over," Pavel suggested. On the back, in shaky handwriting, "We are going where no one will find us. We are sorry." Anna opened her laptop. The missing persons database loaded slowly. She entered the data. Tver region, 1993, a family of 5. The result appeared in a second. The Vorobyov family. They disappeared on August 15, 1993, from their dacha in the Lesnaya Polyana gardening cooperative. "That's 20 kilometers from that hut," Pavel whispered. Anna read the case file. Nikolai Vorobyov, 42, engineer. Elena Vorobyova, 38, teacher. Marina, 17. Alexei, 14. Ekaterina, 8. The photo in the file matched the album. Same faces, same people. "What happened to them?" Pavel asked. Anna scrolled through the file. The investigation was led by Police Captain Igor Bailov. The case was closed in 1995. Reason? Lack of evidence of a crime. The next morning, Anna went to the Lesnaya Polyana cottage community. The cottage community looked abandoned. Half of the houses had boarded-up windows. The caretaker, Mikhail Petrovich, had lived there since the 1980s. "The Vorobyovs?" He scratched his gray beard. "I remember them. A quiet family. Cottage number 47, over there, behind the birch trees." The house was untouched. The gate was rusty but not locked. Anna pushed it open. The creak echoed across the empty lot. Inside the house, time had stopped. On the table were dried flowers in a vase. On the walls were empty frames. Just frames, no photographs. "I showed it to the police back then," said the guard. "It was a strange case. I saw Nikolai in the morning. He was drawing water from the well. He said they were expecting guests for dinner. But in the evening, no one came." Anna went up to the second floor. The children's rooms. In the girls' room, there were dolls on the bed. In the boys' room, there were model airplanes. Everything was covered in dust. In her parents' bedroom, she found a diary. The cover was cracked from age. Anna opened the last entry. August 14th, 1993. Tomorrow everything will be decided. N says there is no other way. The children must not suffer. God, help us. The handwriting was shaky. The letters were jumbled. Anna photographed the page. "Did you find anything?" asked the guard. Anna went downstairs. In the kitchen, there were documents in a desk drawer. Passports, all 5 of them. The children's birth certificates. Marina's diploma. "They left their documents?" the guard said in surprise. "I didn't know that." Anna's phone rang. An unknown number. "Anna Krylova?" The man's voice sounded tired. "My name is Igor Belov. I handled the Vorobyovs' case. I was told you were interested in them." They agreed to meet in an hour in Tver. Belov chose a cafe near the train station. Anna arrived first. Igor Belov looked older than his 65 years. Gray hair, deep wrinkles. His hands trembled as he took out a folder. 24 years have passed, he said, and I remember everything, every detail. He opened the folder, photos from the scene, inspection reports, witness statements. "You know what's strange?" Belov pointed to a photo of the kitchen. "Lunch for 5 people, but there are 6 chairs pulled up to the table. The 6th chair is empty." Anna looked closely. Indeed, there were 6 chairs, 6 plates, but the case involved 5 people. "The neighbor saw a car," Belov continued, "a black Volga. It arrived at 3 in the afternoon. It left at 3:30, but she didn't remember the license plate number." He took out another photo, the attic of the Vorobyovs' house. "And we found this upstairs, a hiding place in the wall, empty, but there are fresh traces. Something was taken from there shortly before the disappearance." Anna made notes. Belov looked out the window. "I checked Nikolai, clean as a whistle. No debts, no problems with the law. At the factory, he's a top performer. Elena is the best teacher in the district. The children are excellent students." "But they couldn't just vanish," said Anna. Belov smiled. "In '93, anything was possible. People disappeared by the dozens. But this family, they weren't running away. They were preparing. See?" He showed her the receipts. Groceries bought for 2 weeks ahead. Movie tickets for next Saturday. Newspaper subscriptions until the end of the year. "They were going to come back," whispered Anna. "Or they wanted us to think so," Belov objected. Anna's phone rang again. Pavel. "You won't believe it. I found something in the shed. I went back there. There's another suitcase under the floor." "What's in it?" "Come and see for yourself." Belov also got up. "I'll go with you if you don't mind." They drove in silence. The forest grew denser. The road got worse. Finally, the hut came into view. Pavel was waiting for them inside. An open suitcase lay on the floor. Children's drawings, letters, and a photograph. Anna picked up the photo. The same Vorobyovs, but different. Older, Nikolai with gray hair, Elena wearing glasses. The children had grown up. Marina was about 25 here. Alexei was over 20. Katya was about 16. On the back was the date, June 12th, 2001. "That's impossible," Belov exhaled. "They disappeared in '93. Pavel took out a letter. The envelope had no address. Inside was a sheet from a school notebook. "If you are reading this, it means enough time has passed. We are alive. We are safe. Don't look for us. One day you will understand everything." Signed, The V Family. Belov took the letter. His hands were shaking more. "I checked all the possibilities. Murder, kidnapping, accident. But for them to be alive." Anna photographed the findings. There were more documents in the suitcase, some kind of diagrams, drawings, formulas. This is from Nikolai's work, Belov determined. He was an engineer, defense plant. The last document silenced everyone. A hospital report. Diagnosis, acute leukemia. Patient, Ekaterina Vorobyova, 8 years old. The younger daughter was sick, Anna whispered. Date of the certificate, August 10th, 1993, 5 days before her disappearance. Anna did not sleep all night. The certificate of Katya's illness lay on the table in front of her. Acute leukemia. In 1993, it was almost a death sentence, especially in Russia, where medicine was in crisis. In the morning, she went to the regional hospital. The archive was located in the basement of the old building. The elderly archivist, Valentina Ivanovna, searched for the card for a long time. Vorobyova Ekaterina, born in 1985. Yes, here it is, admitted on August 10th, 1993. But that's strange. What's strange? Look, she was discharged on August 14th, the day before she disappeared. With a diagnosis like that, they don't discharge patients, especially children. Anna studied the card. The last entry read, transferred to outpatient treatment at the insistence of her parents. Who was the attending physician? Dr. Zeman, but he died a long time ago, in 2005. Anna photographed the documents. The card contained an address, 15 Sadovaya Street, not a dacha, the Vorobyovs' city apartment. The building turned out to be a typical 9-story building. Apartment 47 was on the 5th floor. A woman in her 70s opened the door. Are you asking about the previous tenants? She shook her head. I've been here since 1995. The apartment was sealed for 2 years. Then relatives came and took their belongings. What relatives? Elena Vorobyova's sister, from Arkhangelsk, I think. I don't remember exactly. Anna wrote down the information. A sister from Arkhangelsk, the first concrete lead. Pavel was waiting for her at the editorial office, and he wasn't alone. A man in his 50s was sitting nearby. He introduced himself as Viktor Gromov. I worked with Nikolai Vorobyov at the factory. I saw your article on the internet. Anna hadn't published the article yet, only a post on social media with a question about the Vorobyov family. What do you know about Nikolai? Gromov paused. He took out a cigarette but didn't light it. Nikolai was a genius, no exaggeration. His designs were 10 years ahead of their time. Communication systems for submarines, secret technologies. And? 2 months before he disappeared, some people came to see him, not from the factory. They offered to buy the blueprints, to take them abroad, for a lot of money. Anna turned on the tape recorder. Did Nikolai refuse? At first, yes, but then, when Katya got sick, he changed. He became nervous, withdrawn. And a week before he disappeared, he quit his job. He quit? There's nothing about that in the case file. Gromov smiled. Officially, no, but he stopped coming in. The director didn't make a fuss. Those were the times. Half the factory didn't show up for months. They weren't getting paid. Pavel showed him a photo from 2001. Are you sure it's them? Gromov looked at the photo for a long time. Nikolai. Yes, it's him. He's aged, but it's him. So they're alive. In the evening, Anna met with Belov. The former investigator looked agitated. I remembered something. There was a witness, a boy of about 12, a friend of Alexei Vorobyov, Sergei Melnikov. He knew something, but he kept quiet. Where is he now? I have no idea, but we can try to find him. The search took 2 days. Sergei Melnikov lived in Moscow. He worked as a programmer. He agreed to meet on the weekend, a cafe near Belorusky Station. Sergei was half an hour late, tall, thin, nervous. I knew that sooner or later someone would ask, he said, instead of a greeting. Anna waited. Sergei ordered coffee. His hands were shaking. The day before they disappeared, Alyosha called. He said they were leaving. Forever. He asked me not to tell anyone. Where were they going? He didn't say. He just asked me to keep one thing, a floppy disk. He said if they didn't return in 10 years, to give it to the newspaper. Where's the floppy disk? Sergei took a plastic envelope out of his bag. Inside was a 3.5-inch floppy disk. On the sticker was written, Pravda. I never gave it to them. I was afraid. And then, I forgot. The editorial office found an old computer with a floppy drive. The diskette opened. One file, a text document. My name is Nikolai Vorobyov. If you are reading this, it means that something has happened to us, or enough time has passed. In June 1993, representatives of a foreign company approached me. They offered to buy my research. I refused. Then the threats began. At first they were veiled, then they became direct. In July, they tried to kidnap Marina. She was coming back from a disco, a car, 2 men. She managed to escape. On August 10th, Katya was hospitalized. The doctors said it was poisoning. Then they changed the diagnosis to leukemia. But I saw the test results. It was poisoning, with a radioactive substance. They offered us a deal. I would hand over the designs, and Katya would be treated abroad. I had no choice. On August 14th, a man arrived. He called himself Mikhail. He said everything was ready. Tomorrow they would take us away. New documents, a new life, in exchange for my blueprints and my silence. I agreed, for the sake of the children, for Katya's sake. If we disappear, know that we are not victims. We made a choice. Forgive us. Anna reread the text 3 times. Belov was silent. Pavel whistled softly. Did they sell military secrets? It looks like it, Belov nodded. But to whom, and where are they now? Anna remembered her sister from Arkhangelsk. The database returned a result. Elena Vorobyova had a sister, Olga Petrovna Sokolova, born in 1950. Address, Arkhangelsk, Severnaya Street, House 8. A call to Arkhangelsk. Olga Petrovna died in 2014, but a neighbor remembered her. She was quiet, lonely, but once a year guests would come to visit her, some kind of family, with children. When was the last time? In 2010, I think. I can't say for sure. Anna booked a plane ticket. Belov decided to go with her. Arkhangelsk greeted them with cold and rain. The house on Severnaya Street turned out to be an old Khrushchev-era building. Olga Sokolova's apartment was on the first floor. The door was opened by a young woman with a child in her arms. We bought this apartment in 2015. Nothing remains of the previous owner. And the neighbors? There's Maria Stepanovna across the hall. She knows everyone. Maria Stepanovna was over 80, but she had an excellent memory. Olga, I remember her. I remember her guests too. They came every summer, a family, husband, wife, 3 children. But they weren't the Vorobyovs. Who were they? The Sokolovs, like Olga. Relatives, apparently. They came from Vologda, I think. Anna showed her a photo from the album. Is that them? The old woman put on her glasses. They look similar, but they were older. Although, yes, the man's face is the same. Definitely. They traveled from Arkhangelsk to Vologda, 300 kilometers, 5 hours by train. Belov was silent the whole way. Vologda database, search by surname Sokolov, Nikolai, and Elena. Results found. Registered address, Sosnovka Village, Vologda District. Sosnovka turned out to be 40 kilometers from the city, 120 houses, a church, a store, a school. In the store, Anna asked about the Sokolovs. Ah, Nikolai Petrovich. Of course, we remember him. He was a good man. He died in 2009. And Elena Ivanovna in 2011. May they rest in peace. And the children? They moved away. The eldest is in Arkhangelsk, I think. She works as a doctor. The middle one went to Moscow. And the youngest, I don't know. They found the graves in the cemetery. Nikolai Petrovich Sokolov, 1951 to 2009. Elena Ivanovna Sokolova, 1955 to 2011. Belov crouched down. The dates of birth don't match. The Vorobyovs were younger. Fake documents, Anna suggested. The Sokolovs' house stood on the edge of the village, abandoned but sturdy. The gate was unlocked. In the yard was an old workshop. Inside the house was empty. The furniture had been taken away, but on the wall were photographs. The Sokolov family, the same faces, the Vorobyovs. Old equipment was found in the workshop: soldering irons, oscilloscopes, schematics. Nikolai repaired electronics. The neighbor, Grandfather Fyodor, remembered the Sokolovs well. They arrived in 1994. They bought the house with cash. They were quiet. Nikolai opened a workshop. He repaired televisions and receivers. People from all over the neighborhood came to him. Did the children go to school? The youngest did. Her name was Katya. She was smart. The older ones already went to the city, to technical school and university. Anna showed a photograph from 1993. Is that them? Yes, only younger here. Why, did something happen? That evening at the hotel, Anna organized the information. The Vorobyovs became the Sokolovs. They moved from Tver to Vologda. They lived there for 15 years. They died. The children moved away. Belov smoked by the window. You know what bothers me? How did an 8-year-old girl with leukemia live another 18 years? In a village, without proper treatment. Anna had thought about that too. Either the diagnosis was wrong, or... The phone rang, an unknown number. Anna Krylova? A woman's voice? My name is Marina Vorobyova. I was told you were looking for us. Anna's heart began to beat faster. Where are you? In Arkhangelsk. We can meet tomorrow. Café Sever on the embankment, at 10 in the morning. Will you come? I'll tell you everything, the whole truth. You have a right to know. The connection was lost. Anna looked at Belov. It was her, Marina. The night dragged on endlessly. Anna couldn't sleep. Belov sat in his chair, leafing through an old file. You know, for 24 years I wondered whether they were alive or not. Now I know they're alive, or rather, they were alive. But why? Why this charade? We'll find out tomorrow. In the morning they drove to Arkhangelsk. Café Sever is a small establishment overlooking the northern Dvina River. Anna arrived first. Belov sat down at the next table. Marina appeared at exactly 10 o'clock. A tall woman of 41, dark hair with gray streaks, tired eyes. You look like my mother, said Anna. Marina smiled. Everyone says that. My mother was beautiful. She ordered tea. Her hands didn't shake. Her voice was calm. Where to start? With the truth. Why did you disappear? Marina paused. She looked out the window. Did you read my father's letter from the diskette? Yes. It's true, but not the whole truth. Katya was indeed poisoned. Polonium, a small dose, enough to make her sick, but not enough to kill her quickly. Who? Father never found out. People who wanted his designs. Foreigners. Maybe our people working for them. It doesn't matter. She took a sip of tea. On August 14th, a man arrived. He introduced himself as Mikhail. He said, We'll pick you up tomorrow. New documents, money, treatment for Katya, in exchange for the blueprints. Did your father agree? Did he have a choice? Katya was dying. They couldn't cure her in Russia, and they could have killed us at any moment. Belov sat down at their table. I was in charge of your case, Igor Belov. Marina nodded. I remember. You came to the dacha. You questioned the neighbors. What happened on August 15th? Marina poured herself more tea. Steam rose from the cup, and she looked through it as if through the years. On August 15th, we got up early. At 5 in the morning, my father told us to get dressed, only the bare essentials. Leave our documents behind. Belov took out a notebook. Who came for you? 2 men, in a minibus, no license plates. Silent. One was Russian, the other was either Polish or Czech. He spoke with an accent. Marina paused, gathering her thoughts. They took us to the forest. Another vehicle was waiting there, an old Paz minibus. There were 3 other families in it, all with children, all engineers, scientists. My father recognized one of them. He worked at a neighboring research institute. Where did they take you? First to Yaroslavl. We changed trains there, then by train to Vologda, in a third-class carriage, like ordinary people. Only our documents were different now. Anna turned on the tape recorder. Where did the documents come from? Real ones, not fake. The Sokolov family died in a car accident in 1992. All 5 of them. Their documents were resurrected for us. The ages didn't quite match, but who was going to check? And the other families? They were scattered across different regions. We never met again. It was forbidden. Belov frowned. Who forbade it? Who was in charge of all this? Marina shook her head. My father called him Mikhail. That's all I know. He came once a year, to check on us, for the first 5 years. Then he disappeared. And the money? They paid regularly, for 10 years, transfers from different banks, small amounts, like a salary. My father also earned money in his workshop. Anna sorted through the photos. Did you leave the album in the cottage? Mom did, in 2010. After Dad died, she wanted to go back. We tried to talk her out of it, but she went secretly. She left the album and the letters. She said, let someone know the truth. What about Katya? How did she survive? Marina smiled. For the first time during the entire meeting, it was a sincere smile. Katya is special. She always has been. The treatment helped. Not immediately. 2 years in Germany, then supportive therapy. Now she's healthy. She's a teacher, like her mother. She lives in Vologda. Under what surname? Sokolova. We all remain Sokolovs, even after our parents died. Belov put down his pen. Marina, your father passed on secret developments. That's treason. He saved the family. He saved Katya. Would you have done anything differently? Belov was silent. Then he shook his head. Probably not. Marina took out an envelope. Here are copies of my father's documents. Not military designs, personal notes, a diary. He wrote all these years. He wanted the truth to come out someday. Anna took the envelope. Inside were pages covered with writing. Nikolai's handwriting. September 1st, 1993. Sosnovka. We are starting a new life. The house is old but sturdy. The children have started school. Katya is in 2nd grade. We said we moved from Kazakhstan. Everyone believes us. These are the times we live in. Everyone is moving from somewhere. March 15th, 1994. Katya is feeling better. The German medicine is helping. Mikhail brings it regularly. Elena got a job at the school. I'm opening a workshop. August 10th, 1995. 2 years have passed. No one is looking for us. Belov closed the case, Mikhail told us. We officially don't exist. It's a strange feeling. December 31st, 1999. We are entering the new millennium in a new capacity. The children have grown up. Marina is finishing medical school. Alexei has enrolled in a programming course. Katya is an excellent student. We have made it. August 15th, 2003. 10 years. Mikhail no longer comes. The money comes automatically. Are we free, or are we still in a cage? June 1st, 2008. Katya has enrolled in a teaching program. She is completely healthy. The doctors say it's a miracle. I know it's not a miracle. It's a price, one that I paid. The last entry is dated October 20th, 2009. I feel that I don't have long left. My heart. I'm not telling Elena. Let this story die with me. Let the children live on. They are not to blame for anything. Forgive me. Everyone. Anna finished reading. Her eyes were wet. Belov looked out the window. "What about your father's designs?" he asked. "I don't know. My father gave the drawings away in 1993. We never talked about it again. Maybe they were used. Maybe not." "And Alexei, where is he?" "In Canada. He left in 2005, on a work visa. He stayed, got married. He has 2 children. They don't know anything about the Vorobyovs." Marina looked at her watch. "I have to go. I have an appointment at the hospital in an hour." "Wait," Anna stopped her. "Aren't you afraid the story will come out? 24 years have passed. Everyone who organized it is either dead or gone. The USSR is gone. The factory is gone. What difference does it make now?" She stood up. Then she turned around. "You know, my father often said, 'I betrayed my country to save my family, and I would do it again.' I was angry with him for a long time. Now I understand." "What do you understand?" "That in 1993 he really had no choice. Either we all die or we disappear. He chose life." Marina left. Anna and Belov remained seated. "What are you going to do with this information?" Belov asked. "I'll write an article, without names, without details that could cause harm, a story about how a family disappeared in order to survive." "And the case?" "What case? It was closed in 1995. The Vorobyovs are officially dead. The Sokolovs died of natural causes. Who would you prosecute? For what?" Belov nodded. "I suppose you're right." A week later, Anna published the article. "The Mystery of Cottage, number 47, The Story of One Disappearance." The names were changed, the places too, but the essence remained the same. The response was huge, thousands of comments. People shared similar stories from the 90s. Some condemned, some understood. A month later, Anna received a phone call, a woman's voice, young. "Hello, my name is Ekaterina Sokolova. Thank you." "For what?" "For telling our story. My mother was right. Someone had to know. Now I can live in peace, without secrets." "How are you?" "Fine. I teach at a school, lower grades, like my mother. I have a family, a husband, a daughter. They know the truth, and they don't judge me." "What about the disease?" "It's been in remission for 20 years. The doctors are surprised, but I know it's because of my father. He paid the highest price for my health." Pause. "You know, I often think, what if we hadn't disappeared? What would have happened?" "I don't know, Katya." "I know. I wouldn't be here. Neither would Marina and Alyosha. Dad did the only right thing. He chose us." The connection was lost. Anna sat looking at a photograph of the Vorobyov family. August 15th, 1993. The last day of their official existence. The first day of a new life. Pavel entered the office. "So, are we done with this?" "Almost. There's one question left." "What is it?" "Who is Mikhail, and how many other families has he saved this way?" Pavel whistled. "Do you think the Vorobyovs were the only ones?" "I'm sure of it. Marina said there were 3 other families on the bus. Where did they go? Where are they now?" Anna opened a new file on her computer. She titled it, "The Disappeared Two. The Search Continues." Snow was falling outside the window. November 2017 was coming to an end. Somewhere in Vologda, teacher Ekaterina Sokolova was checking notebooks. In Arkhangelsk, Dr. Marina Sokolova was seeing patients. In Canada, programmer Alexei Sokolov was putting his children to bed. The Vorobyov family disappeared 24 years ago. The Sokolov family continued to live. The letters were still lying in the old hut near Tver. Anna did not take them all. She left some for other seekers of truth. Let them find them. Let them know. The story of the Vorobyov family is one of thousands of stories from the 1990s, a time when people disappeared to survive, to save their children, to start over. Belov called a week later. Anna, I dug through the archives. I found 5 more similar cases, 1993 to 1994. Families of engineers and scientists. They disappeared under strange circumstances. Should we look for them? What's the point? If they're alive, let them live in peace. If they're dead, there's no helping them now. But the truth is that they made a choice. Each of them made their own choice, and they had the right to do so. Anna closed the file. The disappeared too. Belov was right. Some secrets must remain secrets. The last thing she did was send a letter to Marina. Thank you for the truth. Your secret is safe. Live in peace. You deserve it. The reply came an hour later. Thank you. Mom would be glad that someone found out. Dad, too. They weren't traitors. They were parents. Just parents who loved their children more than anything else in the world. Anna closed her email. The story was over. Or was it? Somewhere out there, in other cities, under other names, those 3 families from the bus are living. Their children and grandchildren are living. Each has their own story of disappearance, their own truth, their own price for life. The 90s took a lot away, but they gave people a chance to start over. The Vorobyov family took advantage of that chance. What would you have done in Nikolai Vorobyov's place? Would you have betrayed your country to save your child? Or would you have chosen your duty to your homeland? There is no right answer. There is only a choice, and its consequences.